My name is Amber Castillo. I just want to thank everyone for joining with me on this journey of mine. I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 10 years and then I took a 10-year break and I just started up again. So I am teaching regular classes locally. Eventually I'll be doing some online ones. I'm just starting to get my feet wet with an online presence in the different platforms on Pinterest and YouTube and Facebook and some other things. So if you have any questions, you can always reach me at sweetstappincreations@gmail.com. You can reach me on Facebook. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. But basically what I do as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is I do sell Stampin' Up! Supplies, but that is not my primary focus. My primary focus is the card making classes and just reaching out to others and helping people tap into their creativity. So that's my passion. That's my favorite part. That's what I love. The reason I chose Stampin' Up! Is just because I love their product. It makes it super easy to coordinate and put things together. So they are my absolute favorite. And so that's why I work for them, because they make it easy to make great cards. So anyways, moving on, this is a card that I did at one of my recent classes. And so we're gonna recreate that here today. While I'm grabbing a few things, I'm just gonna show you the supply list. So if you do see anything that you like or are interested in, this is where you can find it. So AC stands for the annual catalog. You can find that on my website at www.ambercastillo.stampinup.net. And then the celebration catalog actually ends tomorrow. So if you see anything from the celebration catalog that you love, then you need to put an order in today or tomorrow. And then the mini catalog goes until April. And then these are the item numbers to order and how much they cost. So if you have any questions about that too, you can let me know. But basically, this is the card that we're gonna make. So when I do my card classes, I have everything prepped for each person inside of these little sleeves. So first thing I'm gonna do is just dump out my sleeve. I like to start with my card base. And so I have pre-scored this, but even if you don't have a score machine or know even what that is, that's just the line down the middle that helps it be easy to fold. I have what's called a bone folder. And I'll just show this to you. All right, so what this does is it just helps, so I match up these corners and it helps create a nice hard crease so your card's not popped up. Okay, so I just go over that once or twice and it helps my card to lay flat. So there's that. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is attach this nice background. Now you can tell hopefully that it's an embossed image. And so I have a Stampin' Up! Die cut and embossing machine. And so what that means is I have this little tool. I'll take it out and show you. And so what I do is I just cut the paper to the size that I want. I layer it inside my embossing folder and then I run it through my machine. And once I do that, it gives it that nice like 3D raised edge texture. So we're gonna attach this to our card base. And when I am putting on adhesive, I like to typically just do the corners, a little in the sides, and then a dab in the middle. It's really sticky, it attaches very well, so you don't need to go around the whole card. You'll go through lots and lots of adhesive with that, and it's not necessary. Now you'll see in the demo card that when I attach this piece, it reaches all the way to the top and bottom, and then there's just a little bit left on the side. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna line it up. And when I have it where I want it, just push down to seal that adhesive. So I've got that card base done. Next, I'm going to do this little strip with the linen thread. So usually what I'll do, I'll just measure the piece I want to go over, and I'll just put a little extra on both sides. And then once I have that measurement, I'll just cut that. And then when I'm taping on ribbon, I do like to use just a double-sided tape. So I'll show you what I do there. So I want this in the middle, so I'm just gonna hold it in place in the middle. And then I'm gonna flip that piece over and fold up my ends. And once I've got those ends up, I'm just gonna attach them with the double-sided tape. Now, once that's done, I do like to add the regular adhesive. It's stronger, so while the double-sided tape helps hold the ribbon to the paper, this connects it to the cardstock. I don't feel like the double-sided tape does as good of a job keeping it connected to the cardstock. All right, so I'm gonna make sure I have those up the right way. I'm gonna leave just a little bit of the color on the side and then just press that down. All right. So next we're gonna go ahead and do our stamping. I always recommend when you do your stamping that you don't connect the piece that you're stamping to anything until you've got the stamping completed. That way, if you make a mistake or you don't like it, you don't have a messed up image already attached to your card. All right, for this one, I used, let's see, the Thoughtful Expressions die kit. So I just used this piece right here. Now there's multiple ways you can use your dies, but for this, there's two ways. So what you can do is you can either stamp your image on a bigger piece of paper, and then you can put your die perfectly centered over the image and then run it through your machine and it will cut it perfectly. For my classes, I don't take my die machine with me, and so I pre-cut the pieces, and I always cut a few extras so that if somebody doesn't like how their image stamped, that then I have extras that they can stamp again. So don't feel pressure. Like when you're stamping, it's not always going to be perfect. There's going to be mistakes, so just go with it. And that's why I said, that's why I always leave the stamp piece off until I have the stamped image that I like. So if you like that die, it is on the supply sheet. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stamp. So I'm going to open up my ink pad. So Stampin' Up! Ink pads, they're really nice because they store upside down. So they're kind of interesting to open. But the reason they store upside down is that when you open it, it's always fresh and juicy right at the top. So when I stamp, I don't even need to add very much to it. All right, this is the stamp set that I use. This is a celebration stamp set, so it's only available till tomorrow. So what I did, I took the You're in My Thoughts and I went ahead and adhered it to my stamping block and just pushed it down, pushed the block on top. Now I'm gonna ink up my stamp. So if you look, you can tell when it gets inked up, and I don't have to push very hard. If you can see, I'm just dabbing it, but you can see when the image is fully inked up. And then the nice thing about these photopolymer is that you can line it up and see through it, although it's hard to do with the camera in front of me. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so I have it lined up where I want it. I push down firmly in the middle. Now when I lift up, a lot of the times the paper will stay stuck to the stamp, so you just want to lift it straight up, and then I just kind of tap it and it will fall down. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and close up my ink pad now that I'm done stamping. And then for this part, you'll notice that these layer. So I used this die for the white piece and then the next size up for the blue. So you can layer it this way. What I decided to do is cross it just for something a little different. So I'm just gonna add my adhesive, and only in the middle because I'm just running it across. So line it up and then push down, get that adhesive on there. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some dimensionals to give it a little pop. So I don't know if you can tell on this card, it pops up a little bit. So you can kind of see it's not just flat against the card. So to do that, I used our dimensionals, and these just peel off and you put them where you want them. I'm just gonna do one on top and one on bottom. All right, and then I'm gonna take these off. Let's see, something's going on with my video. Let me see if I can fix this. There we go. I don't know how long that was going on, but apparently my battery is low. So we'll see how that affected the video. But, all right, so now I've got my Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, and I peel off the little paper and then can just stick that down where I want it to go. All right, and now you've got your card mostly done. If you wanted to be done with it there, you could. I wanted to add some embellishments to it. So we have these little butterfly die cutouts. They come in a pack. There's 8 of each. And then in order to make this pop too, I'm just gonna hold my thumb there and fold a wing over, hold my thumb, fold a wing over. And then to attach this to my card, I'm just gonna use some liquid adhesive. Now you don't need to push very hard or use very much. It comes out really fast and you don't need but just a tiny bit for this. All right, so I'm gonna put that down on my card. Perfect. And then same thing, you could be done there or you can add some more. I'm gonna add some of our brushed brass butterflies. They have adhesive on the back. Sometimes it does come off, so you just pick the adhesive off with it, or you can use a little glue dot to put it on. So I'm gonna put some of these on here. All right, perfect. And then you have your completed card. I always include an envelope with it so that it's ready to go. Oh, and there is one more thing we're gonna add. So because I use the darker cardstock, it is really hard to write a message in. And so I have this paper here that I'm just gonna add adhesive to, just like I showed you before, a little in each corner and a little in the middle. And then I'm just gonna center this inside the card so that when you write in this yourself or when you gift it to someone, that they've got a white base to write their message in. All right, and then there you go, you have your completed card. So again, if you have any questions or you're interested in ordering anything, let me know, or you can go to my website, www.ambercastillo.stampinup.net. And I just really appreciate you guys, so thank you so much.